If you're a US green card applicant or planning to be one, there's breaking news you absolutely need to hear. A major rule change has just come into effect from USCIS, and it could cost you time, money, and possibly even your chance to adjust status if you're not careful. This isn't just a routine update, it's something that's already catching applicants off guard. So if you or someone you know is on the green card path, listen carefully, because this new medical exam rule affects almost everyone going through the adjustment of status process, and it's effective immediately. Let's talk about what's changed. Until now, the medical exam you submitted Form I-406193 remained valid for a specific time, even if your application faced delays, but as of June 11, 2025, things are different. USCIS has officially updated its policy. Now, your medical exam is only valid as long as your Form 85 application is active. That means if your I-485 gets rejected, denied, or even withdrawn, your medical exam becomes automatically invalid, even if the exam itself was recent or still within the previous validity window. This is a huge change, because before, even if your green card application faced an issue and you reapplied, you could sometimes still use the same medical exam results. That's no longer the case. From now on, if your I-485 is denied or withdrawn for any reason, whether it's an error, a change of mind, or just bad timing, you'll have to get a new medical exam from a USCIS-approved civil surgeon, which, as many of you know, isn't cheap. Medical exams in the US for immigration purposes typically cost anywhere from $100.00 to $500.00, depending on your location, the civil surgeon, and whether additional vaccines or blood work are required. For families, this can add up fast. Imagine paying for exams once and then again a few months later if your application hits a snag. It's not just about money, it's about the stress, the uncertainty, and the potential delays that come with repeating a critical step in your green card journey. And let's be honest, applying for a green card is already a complicated and emotional process. It involves background checks, financial documents, interviews, and countless hours of preparation. Now, with this updated rule, the medical exam becomes even more time-sensitive. You have to be strategic about when you take it, how you align it with your I-485 submission, and how you track the progress of your case, because one wrong move, filing your medical too early, or facing a surprise denial, could reset the clock and force you to start over. USCIS says the reason behind this change is to ensure that medical records reflect the applicant's current health status. And while that goal might make sense from a public health perspective, the reality for immigrants is different. This update puts even more pressure on applicants to time everything perfectly, and not everyone has the luxury or resources to do that, especially for applicants from high-demand countries like India, where green card backlogs stretch for years. The timing of your medical exam can make or break your application. So what can you do to protect yourself under this new rule? First, you need to schedule your I-693 medical exam as close as possible to your I-485 filing date. That way, even if your green card case takes time, your medical will still be valid throughout the key stages of review. You also want to be absolutely sure that your I-485 is complete, accurate, and unlikely to be denied. Double-check every form, every supporting document, and every eligibility detail before filing. Even small mistakes can lead to denials, which now means you'd also lose your valid medical exam. Another critical tip: keep digital and physical copies of your completed Form I-693 and a receipt or invoice from the civil surgeon. While USCIS requires the original, having copies can help you verify what was done and when, especially if you need to reference them later or prepare for a second exam. And if your application is still pending from before June 11, be aware. This rule applies to you too. Even pending applications are now subject to the new policy. So if your green card case gets rejected after June 11, your old medical will no longer be valid if you try to reapply. Let's take a moment to understand what this means emotionally and practically for immigrants. Imagine you've waited years for your priority date to become current. You've finally filed your adjustment of status. You've done everything right. You paid the fees, you got your fingerprints taken, you went to a USCIS-approved doctor and submitted your medical exam in a sealed envelope. And then, out of nowhere, your application is denied, maybe because of a missing affidavit, or maybe because you forgot to include a translated birth certificate. You fix the issue and want to reapply right away. But now, with this rule in place, you also have to go back to the doctor, get another exam, pay more fees, and lose more time. It's frustrating, it's costly, and it makes the process even more intimidating for people who are just trying to do things the right way. So who does this impact most? It hits hardest for those filing adjustment of status from within the US, especially applicants who are self-filing or working without legal counsel. These are the people most likely to make innocent mistakes, errors that could now trigger a chain reaction of delays and extra expenses. It also affects international students, H-1B visa holders, and other temporary visa holders transitioning to permanent residency. And for families, the burden multiplies, because if one application is affected, everyone's timeline could be thrown off. That's why it's more important than ever to consider professional help. Consulting an immigration attorney or a trusted advisor like USCIS can help ensure that your medical exam and your entire adjustment of status packet are coordinated correctly. With this new rule in place, you can't afford to guess or rely on outdated advice. Immigration policies are changing rapidly, and staying informed is key to avoiding unnecessary rejections. Let's talk briefly about USCIS's motivation behind the policy. According to the official statement, the goal is to ensure timely and accurate health screenings. They want the medical report to reflect your current health at the time your application is being reviewed. On paper, that might sound logical, but in practice, immigration timelines can stretch across months or even years, depending on the category. And applicants already go through extensive screenings, vaccinations, and blood work during the initial exam. Requiring them to redo it just because their application had to be refiled is an added burden that feels unnecessary to many. But whether we agree with it or not, the rule is now in effect. It's not a proposal, it's not a rumor, it's active. USCIS policy as of June 11, 2025. That means all future applicants and even those with pending I-485 applications must follow it. So, if you're in that category, don't wait. Check the status of your I-485. Review when you submitted your medical and plan accordingly. To sum it all up, this change is a reminder that the immigration process in the US is always evolving. Staying ahead of the curve, being proactive, and getting expert guidance can make the difference between smooth approval and painful delays. Your green card journey is too important to leave to chance. Whether you're just starting or you've already filed, now is the time to double-check your paperwork, understand the new rules, and make sure your medical exam is aligned with your application status. And remember, this journey, while challenging, is also a step toward opportunity, stability, and a better future in the United States. Don't let a rule change stop you. Stay informed, stay prepared, and don't be afraid to ask for help when you need it. If you're looking for reliable, expert guidance every step of the way, reach out to a trusted immigration service like USCIS. We're here to help you make it across the finish line with confidence. Thanks for watching, and if this video helped clarify the new green card medical rule for you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more updates. Your future in the US matters, and we're here to keep you one step ahead. And while this change may seem frustrating or even unfair, it's also a reflection of how immigration systems are increasingly focused on up-to-date, verifiable documentation. That means your success depends more than ever on your ability to stay organized, follow instructions to the letter, and move quickly when needed. Even small things, like a delayed medical appointment or an incomplete form, can now cause ripples that delay your entire case. So make it a habit to check USCIS updates regularly. Keep your communication lines open with your attorney or advisor, and don't assume anything is set in stone. Every step matters, every date counts, and in this new landscape, being prepared is your best protection. Don't wait until it's too late to respond. Stay alert, stay informed, and stay ready, because that's how you make your American dream a reality, even with the rules constantly evolving around you. Ask ChatGPT.